Why, hello once again, my friends. Dr. Phineas Cortex at your service, as always. You'll have to excuse me the past minute there. This was a gift a friend of mine gave me. Look at that, it's rather nice, isn't it? It's got Saturn and a little space shuttle on there. And you spin it like this. It's supposed to be some sort of centrifugal force thing, I don't know. But anyhow, it's great that you join us once again. And, where was I? Oh yes, another question of the day just arrived. Let's go ahead and answer it, shall we? Now, this one comes from Zoe. And she asks, Dear Dr. Cortex, what is the hottest planet that has been discovered so far by scientists? Well, Zoe, I was just researching that the day before yesterday, and it turns out that about 650 light years away, there is a gas giant planet called, Kelt 9b. Yes, Kelt 9b, that was its name. And I hear that its surface temperatures get up to nearly 7,770 degrees Fahrenheit during the daytime. Woo! What a hot time we have there. Now, reason why that is so, one, it's obviously a gas giant, as well as, it can, have sort of this cold heat thing going on, how it keeps things cold. It can keep things hot as well, if you know what I mean. It's like a little thermos, these type of planets. Another reason, this particular planet, Kelt 9b, is very close to its sun. Quite frankly, one revolution that this planet takes is equal to 1.5 Earth days. Try to imagine that, my friends. But good question nonetheless. But going a bit topsy-turvy here, we're not going to talk about hot stuff very long, because today we are studying the planet Neptune. Via the engine's computer, we're going to be traveling a long way from the sun with this one. Now, the planet Neptune, named after the Roman god of the sea, otherwise known as Poseidon in Greek mythology, was discovered in 1848 by an astronomer named Johann Gale. I think he may have been British or German, I've forgotten already. I should probably look that up. But anyhow, as I hinted at before, Neptune is a very cold planet, along with the other planets that are more than 1 billion miles away from the sun. Neptune, as a matter of fact, is 2.8 billion miles on average away from the sun. It's a rather greater than average sized planet. Its diameter being about 30,778 miles, which, to give it a bit of a perspective, is about 4 times the size of Earth's. Just about the same as Uranus, as a matter of fact. We'll get to that in a moment. Its rotation period, it's not as lopsided in its axis as Uranus was previously. It's tilted at about 30 degrees, so its day and night time routines are a bit usual as far as planets go. It's about 16 hours for its rotation, but however, given this little distance right here, this 2.8 billion miles, it takes about 165 years for Neptune to go only once around the sun. That's longer than really any of us will get to live for, unfortunately. But That's the way the ball rolls, apparently. Now, the weather forecast on Neptune are a bit similar to Uranus, but a bit cooler and a bit windier. The average temperature on Neptune is about negative 353 degrees Fahrenheit, one of the coolest planets that we have discovered. And the wind speeds up there get to be about 1,300 miles per hour, just 400 miles per hour shy of the record for the highest wind speeds in our solar system. Of course, that going to Saturn. Given its size, Neptune has quite a few moons, about 14 in fact, including such significant moons as Triton, Larissa, and Proteus, all derived from Greek and Roman mythology, as a lot of celestial bodies are. As far as the planetary makeup goes, I have mentioned it quite a few times. Neptune is sort of like Uranus's twin in several aspects, but it's different enough to, you know, have its own identity, I'm sure. It really has the same amount of gases, not really amount of gases, the same types of gases as Uranus, just in a slightly different ratio, about 79% hydrogen, 18% helium, 3% methane, and a few trace gases, as always. And a bit like Uranus, it has sort of a similar structure, with the atmosphere, quote-unquote, of Neptune containing mostly hydrogen and helium, more of the lighter elements, but as always, as you get into the more denser bits of the planet, things of course become more dense, and that's where you have some liquid substances, such as water, ammonia, and methane. Again, a bit like Uranus. And as we go to the center of the planet, we get to this mostly ice, few bits of rock, dense core right in the center. But as trends show, as we go about our spacey adventures, space gets a bit colder as we go out. And Neptune is a perfect example of that, to say so myself. Well, I'm afraid we are nearing the end of our journey across the solar system. And quite frankly, just thinking about that makes me rather hungry. As always, I can count on one of my best friends to help me out. Hello, Jambot Bear! I'm feeling in need of a snack just about right now.
Well, you're in luck, Doctor. Using the schematics I collected from Neptune, I created a cool and fruity treat called Neptune's Dreamsicles. Now, you'll need to grab, let's see here, 1 to 2 cups of bubba berries of your choice, vanilla ice cream, a bubba blender, assorted cups, and, if you want to, popsicles. First, pour some vanilla ice cream and the berries into the bubba blender. Then, bubba blend the mixture until both of the components are bubba blended equally. Serve up this chilly bubba beverage in cups. And if you want to, you can even try to stick a popsicle in the cup, place it in the freezer, and take it out to enjoy an extra frozen dreamsicle. That's all there is to it. Bubba, back to you, Dr. Cortex.
Why, thank you very much, my friend. You've really outdone yourself so far. Well, as always about this time goes, I think this episode has come to just about its end. Now, before we go, let's see what we're going to talk about next. I've got a good feeling about this. All right, computer, what have you got for us next time? piece of paper. And next time on Dr. Phineas Cortex's Spaceship Fleet, we will be discussing Pluto. A rather interesting anomaly in the scientific research world, I'm afraid. You'll see why then. Well, I'd like to thank you once again for Zoe for the question of the day today. Again, a really good question. I really appreciate the people who have provided me with these questions. And if you want to be a provider of these questions too, feel free to think of a question first of all, and then submit that question below in the comments section. Who knows, your question might be featured on the next question of the day segment. Well, my friends, I think it is almost time for tatas. Let's do our salutes as always, and let's blast off in 3, 2, 1.